As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
I believe that the Miami Dolphins are hurting Tua Tagovailoa's development. Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins win against the Las Vegas Raiders was benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Before he was benched, he was 17-22 for 94 passing yards and 1 touchdown. And they benched Tua, they put in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Fitzpatrick wins the game for Miami, going 9-13 for 182 passing yards and 1 touchdown. I went live during the game in the fourth quarter when Tua got benched, and I said that I wasn't happy. I didn't agree with the decision to bench Tua. A lot of Miami Dolphins fans came at me and said, you're wrong. It was the right decision to bench Tua because we're trying to compete for the playoffs right now. We're not worried about trying to develop Tua. Well, if you're not worried about trying to develop Tua, then why start him in the first place? If you asked me a couple of weeks ago, and I believe that I said this in the video, I did not agree with the decision to start Tua over Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't playing bad when he got benched for Tua. I never really understood it. Then you start Tua. Then you take him out in a close game against the Denver Broncos. You put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then a couple of weeks later, you do the same thing when you're in a tight game with the Las Vegas Raiders. You pull Tua and you put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. How can a young quarterback develop if you never allow him to overcome adversity? You see, the only way we grow and get better as people is if we have to overcome hard times, or we have to overcome some adversity in our life. Adversity and hard times is what makes people who they are. For a young quarterback, it is really important for Tua Tagovailoa to get that needed experience in close games. You have a franchise quarterback, or the guy who you quote consider to be your franchise quarterback, but yet you don't trust him to get your team to the playoffs. You don't trust him in close games. The fact that the Miami Dolphins don't trust Tua shows me that maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they should have drafted Justin Herbert over Tua Tagovailoa. Or maybe they made a mistake and they threw Tua Tagovailoa in the starting lineup too early. Maybe Tua wasn't ready to play, because it looks like it's pretty obvious to me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the better quarterback. And what's even more confusing is the fact that the Miami Dolphins are still going to stick with Tua Tagovailoa as their starter. Brian Flores, after the Las Vegas Raiders game, stated that Tua is going to be the starter for next week. So what's going to happen if the Miami... Before we get back to the video, make sure that if you haven't already, that you guys go ahead and join my group chat on the Flick Chat app. For those of you guys who don't know what Flick Chat is a new app. It's kind of like a Discord for sports. It allows you to interact with other sports fans. You can make quizzes, polls. They have interactive games inside the app. And it also is the best way to get a hold of me. I've been talking with a lot of you guys inside the Flick Chat app. I know a lot of you guys have video suggestions or questions that you guys want to ask me. And the best way to get in touch with me is on the Flick Chat app. So make sure that you guys go ahead and join my group chat on the Flick Chat app. The link to it is down in the description and the comment section down below. Now back to the video. Miami Dolphins do make it into the playoffs. They get into a close game in the playoffs. What are you going to do then? Are you going to bench Tua and put in Ryan Fitzpatrick again? You see that this doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. This is a really weird quarterback situation, because I really do feel like if the Miami Dolphins feel like Ryan Fitzpatrick gives them the best chance to win in close games, then he should be the starter, not Tua. A lot of people are saying, well, we're trying to win and make it to the playoffs and develop Tua at the same time. You can't really do that, because you can't develop a young quarterback if you don't allow him to get that experience in the fourth quarter and close games with playoff implications on the line. Tua needed that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. he needed that game to develop. He needed to be in a close game because he needs to know what it's like to be in a competitive game around this time of the year in December with playoff implications on the line. This is supposed to be your franchise quarterback. And I understand that the Miami Dolphins are trying to make it to the playoffs. I understand that putting in Ryan Fitzpatrick gave them the best chance to win. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you the best chance to win in those late game situations, then I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you the best chance to win if you name him the starting quarterback. Doesn't make any sense that you start Tua. Tua does what he does. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in and he wins you the game. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick, from what I've seen, should be the starting quarterback right now. It doesn't look like Tua Tagovailoa is ready to be the guy just yet for the Miami Dolphins. If you can't trust your franchise QB to get you to the playoffs, why is he starting? I mean, I'm not having a really hard time trying to figure out this quarterback situation with the Miami Dolphins because it's pretty obvious that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the better option right now than Tua. Tua doesn't throw the ball downfield all that often. 80 to 90% of his passes are short passes between 5 to 3 yard check down passes. Then every once in a while he'll throw the ball deep. What's going to happen when you face a good team in the playoffs that's going to sit on those short routes and is going to force Tua to throw the ball downfield? I don't really get what Tua has over Ryan Fitzpatrick. In terms of skill set right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the better quarterback. In terms of who has more potential, obviously the answer is Tua Tagovailoa. But you're starting Tua just for when games get tight and when games get close, you take him out the game. That's where we really see how good a quarterback is. Everybody can hate on Justin Herbert's record. Everybody can hate on Joe Burrow's record. But you can't compare neither of those quarterbacks to Tua because Tua has a better team than what Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert have. If Justin Herbert was starting for the Miami Dolphins, he never would have got benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick in a close game. I guarantee you that. If Joe Burrow was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, if they won a close game, I guarantee you he wouldn't have got benched. So what this shows me is that I think that the Miami Dolphins made a mistake. This team is not built to a skill set right now. This is a team that's built to more of Ryan Fitzpatrick's strength, which is throwing the ball down the field with Devontae Parker, Preston Williams when he's fully healthy, Parker when he's fully healthy. As far for Tua, I don't really think that this team is constructed towards what Tua does well in his skill set. So benching your young quarterback when facing adversity in a big game does not help develop him. You Miami Dolphins fans can say we're trying to win and we're trying to develop Tua at the same time. You got to choose one. Either you choose to develop Tua, or if you're trying to win right now, you put in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who gives you the best opportunity to have success, and he gives you the best opportunity to win in the playoffs. Because what I've watched out of Tua, I haven't been all that blown away. What does Tua do better than Ryan Fitzpatrick? They both can extend plays. Ryan Fitzpatrick is better throwing the ball downfield. Ryan Fitzpatrick is better throwing the ball under pressure. Ryan Fitzpatrick is better in the fourth quarter. So who is the better quarterback? It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. If Ryan Fitzpatrick gives the Miami Dolphins the best chance to win, why is he on the bench? Why is he on the bench? Explain to me that. You put in Ryan Fitzpatrick against Denver, and you put him in against the Las Vegas Raiders with playoff implications on the line. You don't trust Tua. If you don't trust Tua right now, he shouldn't be starting. Every time the Miami Dolphins are in close games, they pull Tua. How is that developing him? How can a guy develop on the bench? You already took him off. You already started him. The only way he is going to continue to grow is if you continue to allow him to develop against some of the best teams in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders, that game that the Raiders just played a couple of days ago, that could have easily been run by the Raiders. I will give you guys this. If Ryan Fitzpatrick never came into the game, there is a good chance that they probably would have lost. But what did Ryan Fitzpatrick do that Tua couldn't do? Ryan Fitzpatrick right now is the better option at quarterback than Tua. He should be the starting quarterback right now. If the Miami Dolphins are trying to win, Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you the best chance to win. If the Dolphins are playing to win, not playing to develop Tua, like a lot of you Miami Dolphins fans told me in the comment section of my live stream, there were a lot of Miami Dolphins fans saying, we're not worried about developing Tua. We don't have time to develop Tua right now. We're only worried about the playoffs and trying to win right away. If that is the case, Tua shouldn't be starting. Doesn't make any sense. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the better option. Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you the better opportunity to win. What is going to be the outcome once Miami gets in the playoffs? They get inside a close game. Are you going to bench Tua then? Because for a young quarterback, getting experience in the playoffs is really important. You have to be adept into fourth quarter situations. How can Tua ever become the franchise quarterback if you pull him every time there's an opportunity for him to lead the Miami Dolphins back with the fourth quarter comeback? You're not gaining any experience in that situation, sitting him on the bench and starting him for Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think that the Miami Dolphins are desperately hurting Tua Tagovailoa's development. Don't really agree with the situation of how that Las Vegas Raiders game was handled. Yes, you won the game, but just because you get the right answer with the wrong method right on a math test doesn't mean that's the right solution. For those of you guys who ever took a math class, you ever got the right answer on the math problem, but the way that you went about getting that right answer was the wrong way, I feel like the Miami Dolphins are not developing Tua the right way. Tua should not be starting right now. If you can't trust him in late game situations, he shouldn't be starting. Tua has a better record than Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow because he's on a simply better team with a way better coaching staff. Brian Flores isn't on a hot seat. Anthony Lynn may not return as the head coach for the Chargers next year. Zach Taylor doesn't really look like all that great of a coach when he had Joe Burrow, and that defense was garbage. So you can't compare Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Both of those two quarterbacks are way better than Tua. Both of those two quarterbacks are already regarded to be top 10 quarterbacks. Meanwhile, you have Tua Tagovailoa, who looks like he's playing to not lose versus playing to win. I think right now the Dolphins are hurting Tua's development. If you don't feel like Tua is the guy who can win you the games in the fourth quarter, then I don't believe that he's their franchise quarterback. If you can't trust Tua in the fourth quarter to lead your team back, he shouldn't be starting. Point blank, period. No way you should start a quarterback who you don't trust in late game situations. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.